Hello everybody, be welcome to my YouTube channel, internet channel for videos. I am Vitor Por Deus, medical doctor, founder of Dionysus Theater Clinic and People's University for Art and Science in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And I also act as a guest professor in the Division of Social and Transcultural Psychiatry of McGill University in Montreal, Canada. And I'm here to speak. I'm here. I want to thank the invitation of Dr. Christos Sideras from the University College of London to give this opportunity to speak about my work and to dialogue with qualified audiences about what I'm doing here in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And the idea is to discuss the 16 years of medical, theatrical, clinical practice from Engenho de Dentro Asylum to families and communities, following the steps of Nise da Silveira and Carl Jung that are depicted here together in Zurich, Switzerland in 1957, when this woman physician from Brazil pioneered a Jungian psychiatry and psychology in Rio de Janeiro and built the largest museum for art and psychiatry in the world. And the phrase that I titled this presentation, it comes from Shakespeare in the Hamlet, when he says, "The play is the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king." And that's precisely the approach for Jung in psychiatry. Actually, we can say that Freud also would do that when he did the Oedipus complex, and this is a parallel. It's a mythological parallel. It's a archetypal parallels, and Jung certainly radicalizes this idea and extends this to the study of psychosis and schizophrenia and but basically this idea that we have to have intermediate images in order to dialogue with the unconscious, otherwise we can be damaged and destroyed by this dialoguing with the unconscious. This story starts when I'm 26 years old and I'm trying to get out of my medical burnout through theater. I tried psychotherapy, I tried medication, I tried several approaches, and I was only worsening from a medical burnout provoked by medical training, highly violent and tragic medical training, where the apex of it was when I was 22, 23 years old, and I had to assist the cardiac arrest of my own grandfather due to medical error in my medical school. And this was a shattering experience, and I had been severely damaged and developed severe depression syndrome that took me 4 or 5 years to find the way of theater and find the way of those masters that are my friends for my whole life. Ney Mato Grosso, Duze Nakarati, Amir Haddad, and also Bertolt Brecht, who was a leading figure for us to start this self-healing through theater, and how this has expanded into institutional work in the public health office of Rio. When we played Galileo, we started playing Galileo. Galileo is a frequent play in our repertoire. We played him several times in several occasions, and he's a very powerful debate on our reality and the reality of scientific medicine. And then we developed a historical work that's still fructifying, that's still giving results, because I'm still working in this community, the Cruzada São Sebastião in Leblon in Rio de Janeiro. And we did this marvelous, remarkable work of a theater anamnesis, with the story of the community, with the story of the people, with the story of the territory that had been colonized, that had been people had been removed from those communities. We developed this incredible work. But what I really want to show is this work here, which is when we started the Madness Hotel, the years 2012. And it is when I understood the Nise da Silveira method, and we had brought to the asylum to work three key figures in the Brazilian theater, which is Ray Lima, Junior Santos, and Vera Dantas. And they are the Cenopoets, and they do Cenopoetry. And this Cenopoetry combines with the idea of improvisation from Nise da Silveira. And we developed this incredible play where the majority of the cast, the actors and actresses, most of them were diagnosed with very severe mental diseases. Most of them had been diagnosed with schizophrenia. And this happened because we ended up working in this deactivating asylum. We still had worked with a population of patients that were still living after decades of incarceration. And this was the result, and I think this is a Jungian demonstration also of archetypal expression and very significant therapeutic results. And this is a video clip, and I edited 4 minutes.
Como quieres moreno que venga a ferete, como quieres moreno que venga a ferete, como quieres moreno que venga a ferete, como quieres moreno que venga a ferete. Se tu madre no quiere, se tu madre no quiere, se tu madre no quiere ni conocerme. Ay moreno que poquito me quieres, ay salado que poquito me amas. Ay moreno que poquito me quieres, ay salado que poquito me amas. Quiere que te quiera, que te quiera, que te quiera, quiere que te quiera, mucho más te quiero yo. Quiere que te quiera, que te quiera, que te quiera, quiere que te quiera, mucho más te quiero yo.
Una vez que te quise fue por el pelo, una vez que te quise fue por el pelo, una vez que te quise fue por el pelo, una vez que te quise fue por el pelo.
Y ahora que esta peluca, y ahora que esta peluca,
Y ahora que esta peluca ya no te quiero.
ay moreno, que poquito me quieres, ay salado, que poquito me amas.
Ay moreno, que poquito me quieres, ay salado, que poquito me amas.
Quiere que te quiera, que te quiera, que te quiera, quiere que te quiera, mucho más te quiero yo.
Quiere que te quiera, que te quiera, que te quiera, quiere que te quiera, mucho más te quiero yo.
Y eran 3 y a las 4 de la mañana, y eran 3 y a las 4 de la mañana, y eran 3 y a las 4 de la mañana, y eran 3 y a las 4 de la mañana. Y te estuve esperando, y te estuve esperando, y te estuve esperando la cama Juana.
Ay moreno, que poquito me quieres, ay salado, que poquito me amas. Ay moreno, que poquito me quieres, ay salado, que poquito me amas.
So this experience marked our work in a very deep way, that we could see a dramatherapeutic effect in clinical psychiatry of severe mental illness, and the participation of the most important artists and the most important researchers in the Madness Hotel, and we witnessed the scientific and clinical importance of the work of Nise da Silveira and Carl Jung, and that's what I'm still doing, but not in so exuberant results and not so exuberant participation in conditions when we had the opportunity to work in the public asylum. In the next year, in this hospital, in the Engenho de Dentro, I dared to play the Bacchae, the play about Dionysius, the god of madness and the god of wine. And this was very important, very positive experience, and we developed the necessity of playing Hamlet, which is a great Apollo. And the Hamlet play was truly a success, such a big success, that the BBC came and published our work. As you can see it, it's online, and it's in our channels too. And this has been a very important and international and universal documentation and publication of our work. It was a very rare moment. It was a day that arrived emails from all over the world, and this incredible experience of re-encountering Shakespeare in mental illness inside the asylum, and the playing of Hamlet with a master character. It's a character that teaches you a lot. So this marked a phase of our work that we started more international collaborations, and the confirmation of this therapeutic approach as a valid possibility in the scenario of severe mental illness and community medicine, community psychiatry, and processes of deinstitutionalization, where you have to unbuild manicomial institutions, asylum, prisons. Theater is the vaccine of madness. And this is a very meaningful result we had. I wanted to comment too in this particular experience we are discussing. Always, all the time, all the patients can speak, all the patients can express themselves. The patients are stimulated to express and participate. And this is a public nature, it's a public performance. There is no copyrights, and this is part of the success of understanding the public and communal nature of medicine and theater. The next year was a tragic year because we suffered a coup d'etat, but still in Brazil, and they closed the Madness Hotel very quickly. But we had the amazing experience of playing this last play, which was the play of Faust by Goethe, and was a life-changing experience too. But now I see as a repetition of the improvised dialogic method that we developed in the Nise da Silveira play, as I showed. And in this period of the coup d'etat, I took this difficult situation of my country and went to Montreal to develop work in the Division of Social and Transcultural Psychiatry with Dr. Jasmine Gusder, with Dr. Lawrence Kiermaier, with Dr. Jacques Arpin, with Dr. Frederick Hicklin from the late Frederick Hicklin from Jamaica, and we played the Bacchae in Montreal. It was amazing, in the public park in the north of the city, in the Prise de, or mental health community organism that I thank here for allowing me to work for 3 years with an amazing community of Montrealers. And the apex of this work was when we played Macbeth by Shakespeare with a cast of people from Montreal, and everybody playing brilliantly the characters. I noticed that the Canadian public has a higher educational level, and they can play characters with more facility, with more elaboration than our low, when I experienced the low educational level community here in Rio, and we work with the images and the archetypes in that scenario. But this was incredible work. So we arrived to the last scene of this story. It's when I play in 2018 Lila by Goethe, which is a play I translated into Portuguese. It's a play about psychic healing through theater that Goethe wrote in 1818, that tells the story of a baroness that is mad, and she's healed by Dr. Verazio, who is a doctor who heals through theater. And this has been the last phase of my work, the last 7 years, where we are doing integrated work of clinical medicine and community and family medicine, community and family psychiatry, integrated with cultural actions, integrated with theater, with performance, with public theater, with street performance. And this is our current organization here in the ground, where we have medical consultations and psychological consultations. This also happens in the houses of the patients, in the houses of the families. We also have a front on cannabis oil. We also have a front on sports psychiatry, a lot of cases of people related to sports psychiatry, developing psychiatric difficulties in the context of the sports. We integrate all this in public rituals and public spectacles that talk about what we are facing and talk about what we are finding in the clinic. And also we have clinical supervision, clinical meetings for, I thank now Dr. Jasmine Gersder for her clinical supervision in the last 10 years, Dr. Jacques Arpin for his supervision and clinical supervision in my career in the last 11 years, and also Dr. Moisés Groisman here from Rio, who is a master psychiatrist in family and community psychiatry, who also have been my supervisor, and I thank him too. And once a year we do a psychopathology, epigenetic psychopathology forum that will happen next September with people from all over Brazil, where we detail more those authors and those schools of thought that have been orienting our work here in the theater clinic Dionysus. And also actor training, always actor training, and also spaces for actor training that we are currently developing and permanently developing, and playing those archetypal plays for therapeutic parallels, for therapeutic archetypal parallels in order to treat our patients and our community. So this is to be continued. You can find all my papers in this website, upacacademia.edu, and also in my YouTube channel. You have more than 300 movies narrating and documenting this whole history of theater and psychiatry in Rio de Janeiro, and also in some parts of the world, but mainly in my community, in my homeland, in my home community, in my culture, where I have to work with who I am, with my family, with my community, and that's a blessing, a blessing to be myself and to inhabit my own community, my own territory with this kind of approach. And I think the most important finding is that Dr. Carl Jung have a large contribution in family medicine, family community, as Dr. Nise da Silveira had already shown in her own experience and time. Thank you very much, and I'll be happy to answer questions. Thank you.